today are talking about how it all works from decision to transition. And this topic occurred when the great minds of Sherry Siklowski, our wonderful sales counselor here at Saratoga Retirement Community, Brian Schwatka, and I, and probably Joy Frias, our wonderful moving coordinator, were sitting down facing each other and brainstorming how to best get you this information that you need. And this idea came about. Sherry said, "Why don't we do something about how the whole thing works?" And here we are. Brian put together this fantastic presentation, which we greatly appreciate. So let me just introduce myself. I'm Erin Farrell. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing here at Saratoga Retirement Community. I've been here almost 9 years. In November, it'll be 9 years. Um, We've got Brian Schwatka, who I met shortly after I started this job here at Saratoga. Um, Brian is a trusted partner. He's a real estate expert, a transition specialist. He works at Keller Williams, Bay Area Estates. Brian, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good.
Well, the weather's looking kind of weird out there.
An
Don't know if
interesting
it's the
day.
end of summer or the beginning of fall, but here we are. And so thanks for having me. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here, you proactive homeowners, you. So again, my name is Brian Schwatka. I'm a realtor and transition specialist. Keller Williams Bay Area Estates. I've been doing this for 20 years, just solely helping retirees make the decision of whether they should stay in their homes and age in place with in-home care or make the transition to a retirement community. I painted myself into a little corner. That's all I do. Um, so um, uh, Thanks so much for being here. And so let's kind of get started. Why don't we just get started here? And let me just switch the slide here. Over the years, my goals, my purpose, my all my presentations, everything I say and do, and the same with Erin. We're both in the same boat. We're like sisters, and we both work with our heart, not with our brain. Well, we use our brain as well, but we're working with our heart, and we really just want you to make the best decisions for your future, whether you're staying or whether you're going, or whether you're going to Saratoga Retirement Community or the Terraces or wherever you decide. We want to remove that fear, uncertainty, and doubt that you have. And I know you all have that because you've been in your homes for 30, 40, 50 years. This is not an easy decision. And some of you are still on the fence and you have the paralysis of analysis. And we've been trying all year to educate you. That's our goal, is to educate you. Not We're not selling to you. And we want to help you save time and money and frustration. First and foremost, and most of all, we don't want you to outlive your funds. And some people think staying in their home is cheaper, and some people think retirement communities are very expensive. And we've removed all of those fears, uncertainties, and doubts in all of the past webinars that we've done. And you can get recordings of all of those and watch those. We want to really just reduce your stress because we know what you're going through. We've walked in your shoes. It's not like, well, I guess it's probably pretty hard for them. We know firsthand what you're going through, and we want you to be safe and secure in your home. We want you to enjoy your neighbors and your neighborhood, and this next chapter of your life should really be the best chapter of your life. Um, it's an adventure. I don't call them retirement communities. I call them adventure communities. And it's something you really should be looking forward to. It's a luxury. It's not for everybody, but if it's for you, congratulations, bravo. And we don't want you to wait too long to get started. And let me use a little analogy. So we're going to Italy, my wife and I, for our 25th wedding anniversary here come next week. And we're, oh my God, right? So it all started where should we go? Well, we'll go to Italy, or we'll go to France, or we'll go to England, but you're trying to decide where to go. And maybe in your case, it's should I go to Saratoga or the Terraces or the Sequoias or, Sunnyview or wherever it is, but you're trying to decide to go. That's the first stage. And then once you do decide where you're going to go, it's going to be a while, right? Because you're thinking ahead. And in a retirement community, it could be 2 to 3 years that you're waiting, right? So you're like, oh, I've got plenty of time, no problem, so we'll just wait and we'll just watch Italy videos. But, you don't do what you're supposed to be doing. There is an itinerary whether you're going out of town or you're going to a retirement community. So, yes, you do have some time, but we don't want you to wait too long to get going on your homework. There is things to do before you get on the waiting list, after you're on the waiting list. There's always something for you to be doing. Don't just sit and wait, because then you've waited too long and you don't get to sit together on the plane and the tickets are more expensive. And Erin calls you and says your apartment's ready, and you're like, oh my God, we didn't do anything that we were supposed to be doing. So please don't wait too long. Okay. So let's just say you've made that decision, right? You're off the fence. You've made the decision. I'm going on an adventure. Here I go. You don't just run out and do it. There's a lot of steps and a lot of things that you need to know. And these things that we're going to talk about today on this webinar are not readily available on the internet. They are in bits and pieces. But this presentation, there's nothing else like it. I've looked everywhere on the internet. There's nothing that actually tells you how you should be doing things, when you should be doing things, what you should be doing, and what's going to save you time, money, and frustration down the road. So we've got to do some planning, right? And planning is going to reduce our stress. And that was one of our goals, is to keep you stress free, because this can get really kind of crazy if you're not working with people that do it on a regular daily basis. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to educate you using giving you this clarity and this certainty and this confidence. And we want you to be proactive. We want you to make things happen, not just wait for things to happen. And it's, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. Slow and steady wins the race. Okay. So here's our agenda for today. We're going to go through 4 stages in this webinar. The first stage is what you should be doing both at the community and at your home before you even get on the waiting list. Okay. Then, and Erin's going to tell you what's going to be going on at the community and what you should be doing. Then I'm going to come on and we're going to switch back and forth between what's going on in the community, what should be happening at your home. The next one is once you're on the waiting list, what happens? The next is when you select your apartment and you give the 10% entry fee, or 10% of the entry fee, what happens? And then what happens once you give them the rest of your entrance fee? Okay, so it's kind of exciting, it's kind of fun, and we're going to switch back and forth. So I'm going to hand it back over to Erin. This is before you're even on the waiting list, right? You're like, should I stay at home and age in place? Should I go to the retirement community? Which retirement community should I go to? Which one did my friends go to? Did they like it? There's lots of thoughts and there's lots of kind of anguish right now. But here's what you should be doing before you even get on the waiting list at Saratoga. So Erin, go ahead and unmute yourself, and then you can take it over and I'll mute myself.
Thanks, Brian. So yes, you're starting to think maybe some of your friends have moved and they're having fun and you're not. You're looking at your house and going, I've got to call the plumber again. Are you serious? We need to actually replace this roof again. You're starting to look at your house sideways. Is this really the best I can do? Is there more for me out there? Is there a better situation than my house? I'll tell you, many, many families are thinking this. You're not alone. So you're starting to think that. So you're going to be checking out some communities. Maybe you're asking friends, what are some good ones? Where have you gone? Where have you toured? Now you're looking at some great places. I want to say, if there's any possible way that you can move to a nonprofit campus, you'll be doing yourself a huge favor. I would recommend that you let all of your friends and family know any place in the United States if they can possibly go to a nonprofit senior living community instead of a for-profit senior living community. They'll probably have a more successful move and a more successful experience. Uh, Happy to answer more questions about that if you ever want to know why. You can certainly Google the difference between a nonprofit and a for-profit senior living community. You'll find out some information in that way, and I'm happy to share more information with you about that. But anyway, so you've got your list of nonprofit good communities to go visit. You're meeting the people, you're shaking hands, you're kissing babies. But you're seriously, you're meeting the sales team, you're walking around, you're seeing the different things. Oh, I like this. Oh, these people have an indoor pool. Oh, these people have this. I like this. So you're starting to picture yourself possibly at these campuses. You're talking to residents. You're thinking about the size of apartment that you might want. So you're just thinking about your own situation. You're looking at the situation at these campuses. You're learning about pricing. What can I afford? Different campuses have different pricing scenarios. How do these people work their entrance fees? Will I get a refund? Uh, what if I don't want a refund? How can I do that? What if can I spend less money by doing that? So you're going to learn all those things um, when you visit these campuses and you sit down with people like me and my team. You might get on a wait list. If you're on our wait list, you know that you'll be invited to fantastic events where you get to participate, you get to meet residents, you get to meet key staff, they get to meet you because our residents want to get to know applicants before they move here. I have many residents come into my office and say, "Hey, what about so and so? When they want to come here, when are you going to let them in?" you know. So we have residents that advocate for people on our wait list, which is always good. It's always good to know how residents feel about our applicants. Um, and then, so you're participating in community events. You're discussing your health and your finances with us. You're talking about this with your physicians. You're getting your stuff ready. Maybe you're comparing services and amenities between these campuses. So you're figuring out who does what that you like the best at one of these campuses. So now you're narrowing your search. Maybe you've got one or two places, maybe even three that you can see yourself in, that you can really see yourself living in and enjoying your best life. And you join the wait list. So that's your first stage.
So I did have a slide here for you, and I've broken this slide down into four categories. And the four categories are kind of similar at different communities, and they all have differences. There's apples and oranges and bananas and pineapples. And I've broken it down into different categories: your health, your physical and mental, your social and fun, your convenience, and your safety and security. The one thing I did want to point out was that the continuing care retirement communities, and there are only about, I'd say, six or seven, maybe eight in the area that are true continuing care retirement communities that have both independent living and assisted living on campus. But most importantly, they have skilled nursing and memory care on campus. And there are a lot of communities out there that say, yes, we're a full CCRC and we've got skilled care and memory care on campus, but they really don't. And you need to dig and peel back the onion and
Mm-hmm.
really get the true answer. Do you have it there on campus? And you also need to decide, is that something that's really important to you of having those services on campus? Because that's going to limit the number of communities that you have to choose from. Now, if that's not as important to you and you want to go off site to do skilled nursing, or if one of you has a cognitive issue and that you're okay with your co-owner going off to another community, then your choices are going to become a lot larger. You're going to be able to go to Merrill Gardens and Belmont Village and Atria and all these different people that call themselves continuing care retirement communities. But we want to warn you and educate you that you should really be just looking at those ones that have that on campus. And if you need to know who those are, just go ahead and ask us. So anyway, these are the amenities that you don't have at home. Okay. So when you're thinking, well, I might want to stay at home, you're going to be isolated and you're not going to have all of these amenities and you're not going to have that continuity of care as you travel through the system. So, Erin, one more slide I have for you. If you can just tell them what it takes to kind of get on the waiting list or what you're kind of thinking to get on
Mm-hmm.
that waiting list, I'm going to hand it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can just kind of explain how to get on the waiting list.
Great, great. Thank you, Brian. So, to get on Saratoga's wait list, we require a one-sheet application form. We do Before you even join our wait list, we have a conversation where we talk about our expectations. When I started here at Saratoga Retirement Community, we were probably getting maybe one application a month, maybe. Now last week we got 6 applications in 1 week. So we're getting a lot of applicants wanting to move here. And so we've decided to only work with people. We only allow people who to get on our wait list if they are planning a move and they have a plan in place in their minds, a year, a time frame that they'd like to move here. Um, and so we want you to have a year in mind that you're planning and working towards. And that's going to be placed, that year number is going to be on that one-page application form. Then you're going to have a financial forms to fill out so that we know that we are a good financial fit for you and vice versa. We'll give you, when you want to join our wait list, we'll give you what we call the packet. It's a folder of documents, but the only 2 documents we need initially are the one-page application form and the financial form. When the year comes that you will be moving to Saratoga, say you join our wait list and you say, I want to come in 2026. Well, in 2026, you're going to want to fill out those health questionnaires and get your physician's form completed by your physician. All of that. But meanwhile, just to get on the wait list, it's a application form, a financial form, and a check for $1,000. That gets you on the wait list at Saratoga Retirement Community.
Okay, thanks. All right. Well, let's see. Now, I put that either or there because, you're not even on the waiting list yet. So you could be meeting with me, you could be meeting with Erin, you could just be, trying to get your ducks in a row. But the first thing is going on at your home before you're even on the waiting list. You might be trying to decide whether I should stay or whether I should go. And so what I've done is I've put together this workbook. It's called the Stay or Go workbook. It's a little workbook that you can download online, and it asks you questions about your financial health, your physical health, your support network of the friends, family, of people who are ready, willing, and able to help you, your trust and estate, and your taxes, and your real estate. So you want to download that and ask yourself these questions. And it's an amazing little book. Let's see if I have a thing here. Okay, so it does have the self-evaluation exercise because you need to know where you are in your home ownership, where you're strong and where you're weak in one of those 5 areas or more. And you'll see when you do that exercise, you'll see where you're in balance and you're out of balance, and will help you get more in balance, whether you're staying or whether you're going. Then you need to know sort of a plan or a vision of your perfect life in 5, 10, 15 years. And then once you know where you are and where you see yourself, then we can try and put that together. And you need to educate yourself. So all of the links for all of the webinars that we've ever done are in this workbook, and you can just go there and watch those webinars. Then there's also some prioritization grids, like if you're thinking, oh, well, I want to go to a retirement community. Well, is having a cat the most important thing, or is it covered walkways to the dining room? Is it a flat campus or a hilly campus? Is it they have the in-home, they have the skilled nursing on site. The prioritization grids will help you. You take 10 things of what you want to prioritize, you do this exercise, and you'll know what's number 1, what's number 2 empirically, and then you can look for communities that match your top priorities. So that's all there. It's really super easy to download. You can do one, or if you have 2 of you, both, you could do 2 separate ones. So that's the educating yourself part of before I get on the waiting list. Then I think once you have this done, then you can invite me over, or we can have a Zoom call or a phone call or meet at a coffee shop or my office or whatever. and we'll go through a homeowner analysis where I'll take 20 years of doing this same thing and you tell me your specific story so we can get finite and granular, and I can start advising you and educating you and telling you, giving you tips and tricks and watch out for this. And I had three clients had the same thing, and here's what happened. And this is all, again, very difficult to find on the internet. So I'm giving you myself and my brain, and Erin does the same thing. We have no expectations, no strings attached, but we've got 50 plus years of doing this, and we just want to help you. So that's the homeowner analysis. Then you might want to think about, where do I want to go? Do I want to follow the kids? Do I want to relocate to my vacation home? Do I want to sell my investment property? All of those things need to be thought about. And then we'll also need to find out, because Erin's going to want to know what your home is actually worth in this crazy market. And it could be worth $200,000 less or more in 2 months or 4 months. The real estate market is so crazy that when you need to know how much your home is worth, give me a call or go online and I'll give you a homeowner what your home is worth. And what I'll also do is I'll estimate what your capital gains taxes are going to be, or what your walkaway amount is, because Erin doesn't want to know what Zillow says. Erin wants to know how much you're going to walk away with after you pay those pesky capital gains taxes. And I can do that for you as well. So that's what should be going on at your home before you're even on the waiting list. See, we're already giving you homework. But like I said, slow and steady wins the race. Being proactive, doing things 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day just to be prepared to reduce your stress. Okay? All right, so now you're on the waiting list. We did it. We're on the waiting list, right? And we have no idea what's going to happen next, right? And then I got the guy there. He's like, let's just see what happens. It'll all be fine. But we really need to know what happens next, okay? So at the community, once you're on the waiting list, I'm going to hand it back to Erin. You got some homework to do, but it's fun stuff, right? It's exciting. You've made the decision. All the anguish is over. You're off the fence. You're the 51% off the fence, and 49% I might stay home. But now it's time to get engaged, okay? So I'm going to have Erin turn off back on her microphone, and she can take it from here. And I'm going to excuse myself for a minute.
Thanks, Brian. First of all, let me just say that I, I know why you're doing this. I'm planning on doing this myself. Actually, I want to move here to Saratoga Retirement Community, but I know why you want to make a move, partially because you've got partners at campuses like Saratoga. First of all, while you're thinking about it, while you're sitting there right now watching this webinar, you know, please know that when you're thinking about Brian and his team, when you partner with somebody like Brian and his team, you've got people who are thinking about these things for you, helping you think through these transition processes and how to put your house on title the correct way and all of the things that his team helps you with. When you think about me and my team here at Saratoga Retirement Community, you've got a whole move-in team helping you figure all of this out. How do I do this? What do I do? What do I do next? How do I pack? What do I bring? We have a team that helps you with that. We help you with that. Once you're here, you have an entire team helping your life to be as successful, vibrant, and exciting and wonderful as possible. Helping you through other transitions that you might be making and needing help with. You've got a team of people who truly care about you and your best interest. So, the best thing about making that leap and that jump to getting on a wait list and finding a trusted realtor team that you work with is that you've got people that are helping you, teams that think about you and want the best for you and want to work with you and want to help get you to the best place you can be. So once you're on the wait list, you're being proactive. You're being patient because I know some of you are on our wait list and are just waiting, knocking on our door. When can I get in? When do you have the right place for me? So you do kind of have to be patient because we are trying to get you in here too. but sometimes we don't have the openings yet. We do expect you to be proactive though, because we're really only working with families who are knocking on our door and saying, hey, I really do want to be there. Because if we're not hearing from you, we're hearing from a lot of other people that really want to make this move happen for themselves. So if you are on a wait list and you've been quiet and you haven't let the campus know, hey, I am ready, um, you should do that because that's what everybody else is doing that really wants to move to where they want to go. They're letting the campus know. Um, so we always say the squeaky wheel gets the oil. If you're helping us to understand that you really want to make the move, we're hearing you. Um, Get connected with the community, attend functions and events, meet staff and residents, watch these webinars. These are for you. We are spending this time because we want to help you make this move as easy as possible for you, as simple. We want to simplify the steps for you and do whatever we can to help you. Um, get ready for those 10%, that 10% deposit that you're going to do once we do have that apartment or cottage ready for you and you come and see it and you love it. Um, because we do expect you to pay that 10% within about 5 days of seeing that apartment or cottage. So you'll be meeting with your financial advisor and your CPA to make sure all that's in order for yourselves. Um, and then you're going to take a look at that apartment and cottage and see if you like it. I will tell you, we only have 143 total units at Saratoga Retirement Community. We only get 14 to 20 available, sorry, per year. I greatly encourage you not to be too picky and not to outweight yourself because I have many families now who were initially wanting cottages who have said, you know what, I'll take a one bedroom. Because they don't want to wait for 3 years to get into Saratoga Retirement Community. And I'm not telling you to do that if that's not going to make you happy. I want you to be happy. We want you to be happy. But I just want to help you to manage your expectations in a realistic way. Um, I will give you a quick example. I have a wonderful woman who moved here. Sorry, Brian. I have a wonderful woman who moved here, I want to say probably 4 years ago. Um, a beautiful big two-bedroom apartment. She loved it. It was great. All of a sudden, our very smallest one-bedroom apartment became available within about a year after she moved here. And she came to my office and said, you know, I think I want to downsize. I like the location of that apartment. It walks out to the koi pond. I would like that apartment. And I said, you want our smallest one bedroom? And she said, I do. I want it. Can I see it? And she took it. She loves it. And she could have afforded the very biggest cottage on the campus. But she absolutely loves her apartment. Stops by and sees me probably every week to let me know how happy she is there. So I just want you to know when you move to a campus like this, it's not always about the size of the apartment or cottage that you get. You're here, you're out, you're about, you're having fun. Please think about that when you are waiting for what you want. Try not to be too picky. That's some good advice there.
Absolutely. I want to just focus on that get ready because sometimes an apartment will come up and the people that are ahead of you on the waiting list will say that's not quite right, we're not quite ready, and your name might go up the list a little faster than you might think. So like I said, we need to be proactive and we need to be ready for that call. Okay. So, all right. Well, thanks for telling us what happens at the community once you're on the waiting list. Now we're going to go to your home. Once you're on the waiting list, kind of the rubber's kind of starting to hit the road. We know you're going to be moving in the next 1 to 2, possibly 3 years, but let's think optimistically. And And I'm not saying, gosh, you need to meet with Brian every step of the way, because you might have a realtor, your daughter might be a realtor or whatever, but I'm offering myself to you of the 20 years of the experience of doing this one thing. And so my list starts out with meeting with Brian. And what I've done is, this webinar that we're on today, we're at a very high level. We're talking to everyone, and this applies pretty much to everyone. And you could take pictures of these slides as we go, so you have a little checklist, but it's not getting into greater detail, and it's not getting into any detail that has to do with you specifically. So what I did was I created this. It's the How It All Works manual. This is a 36-page book. I think I might even turn it into a book on Amazon. But this is everything that we're talking about, and we're digging deep, and it explains everything that we're talking about. And you can have it once we get together, and I'll show you how it works, and we'll talk and all of that. We'll talk about your home preparation. Maybe I'll look around your house and think, here's what we might want to do to the flooring. Here's what we might want to do with the paint. Here's what we might want to do with the landscaping. Just at a high level, right? You're just on the waiting list, but I'm going to give you some thoughts and some homework and some things to think about, some thought-provoking questions. And so we're going to do that. We're also going to talk about, in fact, we have a question that I'm going to get to at the end, or maybe I could say it now, but someone's asking, should I rent my home out for a cash flow? And, I'm going to have a monthly fee at the retirement community. Well, if the monthly fee is 7,000 a month and I can rent my home for 7,000 a month, then maybe I'll just keep the home and rent it out. Or should I cash out and become a millionaire and then do some investing and have some freedom and have some closure? And there are a lot of pros and cons to being a landlord or not. So we'll talk about those things. We'll talk about how you're holding title, because if you're holding title incorrectly and something, God forbid, should happen between the time you decide to make a transition and the time you actually make that transition, you might go to probate. You might not get a full step up in basis. We need to really think about how you're holding title to your home. Even if you have a trust, are you holding title correctly within that trust? So again, this is all stuff that you're not going to get from a typical realtor. Typical realtor is going to be, here's how you sell your home. A transition specialist, that's me, and I can branch out. We can just sit and talk for hours. You'd have to actually kind of shut me up, because I just love meeting with you and asking you all sorts of questions and spelling it all out and showing you exactly what all of your options are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then you make up your decision. You make your decision. So also, here's another thing we need to start doing homework proactively sooner than later, is we need to pull a preliminary title report on your home. We need to look at the deed. We need to think about your solar panels if you have them. If you have a homeowners association, we need to really think about, how healthy is that homeowners association. There's all sorts of new rules that have been put in place in just the last year in regards to homeowners association. And if you don't do these things and you don't do them right, it's going to slow up your transaction. Those are for people that live in condos and townhomes. Then we need to pull your natural hazards disclosure statement, which is, am I in a flood zone? Am I in a fire zone? Do I have any insurance issues? If you're in a fire zone or a flood zone, you're going to have some challenges, and you need to disclose all of this information to the buyers. And the buyers may not be able to get insurance, homeowners insurance or fire insurance on your property. So we need to start thinking about all of this stuff a year or two in advance. You might think, oh, it's too early, let's just sit and wait. Like I said, let's get started, right? So there's things to be done. And also, here's the the one you don't want to hear about, is the downsizing. We all have to downsize. Even the downsizer needs to do downsizing. Everyone needs more joy in their life, and they need to get started in the downsizing. And if I could give you one thing out of this whole presentation, I want you to think about is, don't think about the big, huge staircase and all of those stairs and all of those things and the 50 years of memories that you have. Please just focus on what you're taking with you. Don't focus on the golf ball collection and the thimble collection and the salt and pepper shakers and all of that kind of stuff. Focus on your photos and get a floor plan from the community and start to think about what you love and care about and use the most. All the other stuff we can handle later. And I'm going to talk again about downsizing as we progress, but I'm just on the waiting list. And like I said, something could happen sooner than later. So we do need to start taking some steps to try and get ready. And these are just the most high level steps that I can tell you about. So that's me in a nutshell. I think we're ready to move on. And you've selected your apartment. And now things get real, right? Now the time frame comes into view, um, and we really need to start getting our ducks in a row. So I'm going to hand it back to Erin. She's going to tell you what happens once you've selected your unit. Okay, and this might be a year from now, 2 years from now, or 3 weeks from now. We don't know when this is going to happen, but Erin's going to call you and you need to be ready. So I'm going to hand it back to Erin.
Hey, thanks, Brian. You're on the wait list. This is so exciting because now you've got teams behind you. Don't you already feel better? Take a deep breath and give yourselves a big round of applause, because if you're at this stage, you've got my team and myself working for you. We're in your corner. We're thinking about you. You've got Brian and his team thinking about you. You're surrounded by people who are going to help you with this. It's going to be awesome. So, now you're selecting your apartment. You are you're meeting with the sales team. You're uh, you get to know us. Of course, you already know us. You're signing your deposit agreement, so you've seen your apartment or your cottage, and you're in love, and you got to have it. Um, you are You've met with myself and our executive director. That's one of our final steps. Um, I actually have an applicant family who let me know today they're out of state. So they're going to be traveling in, and when they travel in, because they're going to be moving here probably in the coming months. So they want to go ahead and preemptively meet with myself and the executive director for that final meeting when they're in town. So they've got their ducks in a row. They're figuring all this out. So that's the final step. You meet with the executive director and myself for your final interview, and then you pay your 10% agreement, or your 10%, where you sign a 10% agreement. You give us 10% of the entrance fee of the apartment or cottage that you've chosen. You're looking at the agreement with us. We're reviewing it together. We give you a copy of the actual final contract that you'll be signing right before you actually move to the campus. Um, and then we're going to be at that time, before then, actually, you'll have given us your physician's report, um, because you'll have met with our executive director. She'll be kind of asking you that some brief questions about your health and about your life in that final interview. Um, and we're going to be talking about your move-in date. How long is it going to take Saratoga to get your apartment or cottage ready? I will usually know that by the time you and I are sitting down and finalizing these items. We'll know, is it going to take 60 days to get your apartment or cottage ready? Is it going to get 90? Is it going to take us 90 days? We'll let you know as best as we can what that time frame is, and we'll be working towards it together. You will be introduced to the renovation team. You'll work with Joy Frias and Jessica Person here at Saratoga Retirement Community to help you make some selections on paint colors that you might want, flooring selections, and things like that, to customize your beautiful apartment or cottage. You're gonna have a floor plan. When you go home, you'll be able to say, I think this will fit. I'm worried about this one piece. You'll be able to look at that. Um, you know, Before that, we'll have already re-reviewed your financial assessment. Um, You'll get the resident and welcome binder from our move-in team. So a lot's going on during that 10% process. And again, the whole team is holding your hand. We're with you. We're answering all the questions you have. Um, and we're working with you through the entire time when you were from day one till you actually move in here. And then after that, you're going to see us all the time. So,
All right, thank you. Okay, well, what's happening at your home once you come home and you're like, what did we just do? Oh my gosh, we just gave them 10%. We're actually moving. Um, so here's what happens at your home. You're going to watch the flight plan webinar. And what that is that's coming up, I think, in October. We're going to finish out the year of our webinars and we're going to go through the flight plan webinar. The flight plan webinar, this is 50-page book that I've written, which is every single thing of how you sell your home, what's going on behind the scenes, who's doing what, what's going on with the buyer's lender, what's going on with the home preparation, every single thing from the time you sign a listing agreement until the time you get your funds is in this manual and in that webinar that we're going to have come, I think, October or November of this year. It's coming up. And once I get back from Italy, well, that's what will happen. At this time, since we're serious now and we know we're moving, we're going to have you hiring a realtor. And I actually teach you how to hire a realtor in this and in that webinar. You're going to get an updated comparative market analysis. You're not going to go to Zillow. You're going to get an updated comparable market analysis, and I can do that for you. It's free on the website because you need to know, well, I put my name on the waiting list 2 years ago, and now my home is worth some other amount, whether it's higher or lower, and you know what your capital gains are going to be and whatnot, and how much you're actually going to go, because Erin's going to do another financial assessment once you're on, or once you've placed your 10% deposit. Okay, now let's talk about this real quick. It used to be you would just put your home on the market and you would live there, and some people would come through your home and you would sell your home in about 2 hours for $500,000 over asking as is, and you would know when the money would be coming in and you would live there the whole time and whatnot. Well, things have changed, and things don't move as quickly as possible as they have in the past. Maybe you have a challenging home, or maybe you have a small buyer pool for your home. Maybe it's quite expensive, or maybe it's on a busy street or something. You don't know how long it's going to take you to sell your home, and it's very, very, very difficult to live in your home while it's on the market anymore. You've got hundreds of people coming through the home. You've got open house after open house. You have to schedule the visits from the realtors. You need to leave your home when the realtors come. They're leaving things, and it's very difficult to occupy your home while it's on the market. Okay, so we would much rather you vacate your home. Nothing happens until you leave, and then we'll sell your home and do all of the home prep after. So let me just give you a little example here. Erin is going to want that 90% of the entrance fee on a certain day. Okay, it's on one day, and it's not the next day or any time after that. You have to have the money to give to them on a certain day. Well, if you're occupying your home, you're going to need to do home preparation, home inspections, all your documentation, you're downsizing, you're moving, you're storing things, you're having the open houses, you're keeping your house completely immaculate, making the bed every day, not leaving anything in the sink. You don't know how long this is going to last, and then you give your entrance fee when you can, right? Well, when you can isn't good enough, because that could be 2 months or 4 months, and Erin needs the funds on a certain day. So this is adding a lot of stress. All of these things while you're occupying your home. And then when you do give the funds, then you can move. And that's not the least stressful way of doing it. And I would say we're doing it much differently now. Probably 90%, 95% of the people are doing it differently. They're doing it the other way around. So the problem is that I know why you're selling your home, because all of your funds are in the floor of the home, right? I need to extract the money out of the home to give it to the retirement community. And if we want to move first, we don't have those liquid funds. And how we would get those liquid funds would be to sell stocks or investments or your portfolio, which you don't want to do. And you don't want to sell your investment or your rental property because these are all taxable events, right? You're going to have to take out a lot more money out of your investment accounts to pay the capital gains taxes when you take the money out. Or when you sell your investment property, you'll pay capital gains taxes to get those funds, to give the funds to the community, and then you can move and then sell the house. So I don't want you to have two taxable events because you're going to be selling your home and you're going to be having capital gains on the sale of your home and the sale of your stocks or portfolios, right? So we want you to do tax-free options. Well, maybe you can take some of the money out of a 401k. Maybe you can use your home equity line of credit, or you can put a home equity line of credit in place, get it in place. Don't tell them you're selling your home because they won't give you a home equity line of credit if you tell them I'm selling my home. You tell them we're getting our home ready for the market. No, don't. You don't say that. You say we're upgrading our home. Oh, okay, here's some $250,000. And you have this home equity line of credit that you can use to pay the entrance fee. And then once you sell the home, you pay it off. You can get a personal loan from the kids. Look at what you've done for those kids over all these years. You know, you have 4 kids. I'll take $100,000 from each kid. Mom and dad are good for it. As soon as we sell the property, we'll give you $101,000 back or something. Or you can do what's called a modified bridge loan. And bridge loans are not for homeowners who are going to a retirement community. Bridge loans are for homeowners who are buying another property so that the lender can get you for another 30 years. I have contacts, and they're very good contacts, and I've taught them how to actually do bridge loans with retirement communities. So there's a few out there, and I can hook you up with them, where they'll give you the entrance fee. It costs you maybe $10,000 to do that. On a $2 million, $3 million, $4 million home sale, that's a fraction to reduce your stress, to get the funds, to give the funds to the community. And then once you give the funds to the community and you know exactly how long that's going to take, because Erin gave you the move-in date, you can say to the bridge loan people, I need the money on this exact date. And they'll say, no problem. We've got it all taken care of. And so that reduces your stress, right? You give the funds. And then once you're gone, we'll give you a little bit of time to get your bearings. And then we'll do the home preparation and the inspections and the downsizing and the open houses and all that stuff while you're not there. Can you see how that just went, okay? So super important to think about vacating before you put your home on the market. Then we need to talk about what we really are going to do to that home to put lipstick on it to get it ready for the market. And I don't want you spending a whole lot of funds and time getting this home ready to go on the market because it's a seller's market. There's not that much inventory. There's a huge demand, and we don't know what they're going to do to your home. Even if you did replace the counters and all of that kind of stuff, they're probably going to rip it all out anyway. So really, we're just going to get the biggest return on investment. We're going to take it from bad to good. We're not going to take it from good to great. We're just going to get it to good. And we're going to do some curb appeal stuff so that it looks good in the pictures when they drive by. We're going to do some landscaping. We're going to wash the house. We're going to maybe do some painting, especially on the inside. It makes it smell nice and fresh. And, you know, all your pictures have been hanging there for years. There's going to be discoloration. Might be a good time to take maybe a little mini vacation to Carmel for like a week while we get your home ready to go on the market. That's if you're occupying. If you're vacating, we're going to do all of this afterwards. So it's best if the home is vacant. You can tell I'm really kind of trying to push that on you. So we're going to do an industrial strength house cleaning and window washing. Probably not your house cleaner. Probably my house cleaner who has 3 people working there all day. It's not cheap, but it comes out brand new. And all of the costs to get your home ready for the market are your costs. No realtor is going to pay to put cabinets and flooring and landscaping. That's up to you. You give us the home in the shape that you want us to sell it in, and then we'll market the heck out of it, and we'll pay for all of the marketing. So that's what it is in a nutshell to do the home preparation. I've got plenty of videos. All of these guides talk about what you should do and what you shouldn't do. I can pop over with no expectations, tell you what you might want to do, what you might not want to do. Don't spend money that you don't have to. Then we're going to create a calendar and we're going to work backwards from Erin's date that she gives you. She's going to say your move-in date is X. So we'll put a calendar together of everything that's going to happen before that date and everything that's going to happen after that date. So you'll know exactly and there will be no questions. We don't want you to be calling us asking us what's happening next. So we'll get you a calendar. We'll share that calendar. Anytime it changes, we'll let you know. And now it's really time to take that floor plan that Erin gave you, or Sherry, or whatever is in your welcome binder, and then call the downsizer. Call them to come in for an initial consultation. They know all of the units in all of the communities. And so you'll get together with them and they'll tell you what you're not taking with you're not taking both of those the sofas, and they'll help you put together a floor plan, and then we'll handle the rest later. All you're worried about is what you're taking with you, and you take it with you, and then we handle everything else after that. So that's it for that. And now it's time to move in. First, you're moving out, just taking what you're taking with you. You're not worrying about everything else. You're just taking what you're taking with you, and you're moving in. And so the airplane is coming down to the all-inclusive resort, or the cruise ship on land, however you like to say it. Someone told me once that I don't really like the whole cruise ship on land thing because I wouldn't want to be trapped on a cruise ship for the rest of my life. So we start saying now all-inclusive resort. I would definitely want to be trapped on an all-inclusive resort for the rest of my life. That's what I'm looking forward to. So I'm going to have Erin come on and she's going to tell you what happens at the community once you've given them the 90% and you've moved out and you're moving in. So back to Erin. There you go. All right.
Hey, thanks, Brian. Yes, it is very exciting to live in an all-inclusive resort community because really, that's exactly what this is. It's even better. It's an all-inclusive resort community with healthcare built in, the best healthcare built in. So anyway, it's pretty special. So it's very exciting for you, and I'm very happy for you, because when you move in, when you're at this stage, you're signing the residence and care agreement. Um, I will. One of us will have already sent that to you a long time ago. When you would sign your 10% agreement, you get that residence and care agreement. You'll be we'll ask you to take a good look at it. It is signed off by the Department of Social Services, so we can't change anything in that residence and care agreement. Um, but we do want you to look at everything in it. If you have any questions about it, we want to go over that with you prior to this day, because on the day that you're signing, it's going to be busy for you. You're going to be excited. You got the movers here. You're having fun. You can't wait. You've already got your mentors. So you're just signing that agreement. You're excited. You're wiring us, or you're getting us a check for that remaining balance of your entrance fee. The funds are due on an exact date for that entrance fee. So sometimes people will say to us, so once the apartment or cottage is ready, and we've explained all this to you. If you're going down this path, you'll know the date that we require that the rest of that entrance fee money. So you will have already had that predetermined date when this entrance fee money is due. So you'll pay that entrance fee, and then you can't move in until those monies are on the campus. Um, you'll be working with the move-in coordinator, finalizing those move-in dates and times. They'll be walking through your new home, making sure everything is perfect, confirming everything is the way you've expected it. You'll be receiving the keys, the mail keys, your name badges, your clicker for your garage parking. Um, and I always want to tell you, any place you move, there will always be a punch list of things that as you're living there the first few weeks. Oh, this is a little crooked, or oh, I thought I liked this here, but I think I want it there. There might be a little thing, different little things that might need to be addressed. And we help you with that. Your team here helps you with all of that. Um, your move manager or your mover is going to pack your belongings. They're going to load and unload your stuff here, uh, and move it all here. You're going to meet the facilities team. They're going to meet with you and help you hang pictures and things that you need done here. Um, you're going to meet with the housekeeping team, who will, this will happen gradually within the first 2 weeks of you being here, because we try not to, day one, slam you with a bunch of meetings. We organize it with you so that it'll be nice and smooth for you. But you're ultimately meeting all these people. The housekeeping team's going to want to meet with you and let you know. The two of you will coordinate your time when they clean your home for you. The dining staff's gonna wanna meet with you and go over any special needs diet. Usually, if you've got a special needs diet or something going on, we'll have you meet with the dining team before you ever move here. But the dining team will meet with you when you come here and, and, uh, just go over basic information with you. Um, and you're going to have mentors. So you're going to have a mentor assigned to you prior to you even moving here. Once you sign your 10% agreement, we have a resident who assigns mentors on the campus, and she will have your information, and she'll be talking to the mentor group, the group of residents who have taught themselves how to help you make this transition. They actually have classes, and they teach each other how to best make your first few months here as easy as possible to make that transition really great for you, because your mentor is your friend. They introduce you around. They introduce you to different people. They have you for dinner. They have you join them for dinner and introducing you to different people, different groups and committees that they think you might be interested in. They're your people. Where's the trash room again? They'll help you with all of that, as will we. So you not only have this whole team of your realtor team and your Saratoga retirement community team, you're going to have residents on your team helping you make this happen for yourself. So you've got a whole group of people who are working with you to make this transition for you as smooth as possible.
All right. Well, we're coming up on our time, and Erin and I, we always run over because there's so much in there that has to get out. So anyway, we're coming to our end of our time. So I want to switch over here real quick to what's happening at your home. And the good thing is that I don't have to spend too much time on this slide because we're having next month the listing manual or the flight plan. But what I do want to point out in this slide is if you were to vacate by using any sort of creative financing, we strongly recommend that you move over there and then we give you this time, whether that's a week or 2 weeks or a month or 2 months that you need to do all of that downsizing, no problem. We don't want to add any stress. You'll have two homes for a while. I took too much stuff, I didn't take enough stuff, and you can kind of be malleable there for a while. Then after you move, we'll start to worry about the downsizing, the home preparations, the inspections, and the disclosures so that you can sell your home truly as is. We'll do all of that, getting your home ready to go on the market. We'll do all of the marketing. We'll go on the market. We'll do all sorts of things. All of the things on this slide are spelled out in the next webinar called the flight plan. And it's just going to be me telling you how you sell a home pretty much. Okay. And the flight plan, this is the table of contents for the flight plan. It's very exhaustive. I've asked other realtors if they give this to their clients and they said, why would you want to tell them everything? I said, oh, I have engineers. They want to know all of this stuff. Seniors need everything spelled out. They don't like surprises. And so I've spelled it all out. It's all there. One final thought before we go. Please don't wait too long. If you are on the fence, uh, once your health gets to a certain point and you're deemed where you need assisted living, your options are limited. You're not going to come in the independent living front door. It's you think the waiting list is long to get into independent living. It's very long to get into assisted living because the people are transitioning through the system. They have that continuity of care. So you come knock on the side assisted living door and there might not be an answer. So no false sense of urgency, but you do need to make a decision sooner than later. There's that. If you want to get together, go to the website. It's stayorgohomeowner.com. There's a little button there that's appointment. We can talk about any number of things for as long as you want. I'm there for you, 100% available to you. I will bring the how it all works, this webinar in book format, and I'll give that to you. There's our next webinar, the real estate flight plan, all your homework between the time you make your deposit, that 10% deposit, and the time you move in. That's when the rubber hits the road. And you can go to stayorgohomeowner.com/webinars to see all of these webinars that we've done. We've had quite a year of education here for all of the people. I really want to applaud you guys for being here. You're doing your homework, you're doing your due diligence. It's not an easy thing. We're going to try and help you, educate you, and lower your stress and get everybody involved. Get the kids involved. Send the video to everybody that you know. Help other people with what you've learned. Iron sharpens iron. So
Absolutely.
we're there for you. I'm going to say thank you again, Erin, for having me.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing or talking to all of you in person or on the phone, another Zoom call. Erin, any final thoughts or actions or anything?
You know what? Thank you all. Really greatly appreciate you. Um, Somebody asked how much are Brian's services. I can tell you it's free to call and talk to us.
Yeah,
I'll happily help you with anything I possibly can. People will call me and say, "Hey, you know, we're looking at you guys, but what are some other good campuses to check out?" I'll tell you. I'll tell you who our good competitors are. I'll help you as much as I possibly can. We want to help you. We know it's a lot to think about. And so whatever we can help you to do, we will.
yeah. And
And
my
I think
my
I can,
goal. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think I can speak for you as well on that one.
Yeah, my purpose in life is to help people make the best decisions for their future, whether they're staying in their homes or whether they're going. That's why I named my whole system Stay or Go Homeowner. I don't care what you do, as long as you're making good decisions, you've thought it out, you've weighed all your options, you've talked to somebody who can give you a non-biased opinion. And I know you're thinking, oh, he just wants to stick a sign in my lawn. That's not who I am. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I seriously, honestly want to help you with my heart. And I'll tell you, stay. My boss
Yeah.
won't like it, my wife won't like it, but I'll tell you, if you can stay, then you should stay. But I think that there's so much to offer in these communities. And like I said in the beginning, it's a luxury. And if you can afford it to live your best life, your best chapter is coming, do it. Your kids want you to do it.
100%.
Everybody wants you to do it. Aaron, we're just here as a sounding board. All
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
All right. All right. So thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you soon, and we'll send out the video shortly.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, gang.